So I just want to update my thoughts on this bike in terms of suspension. So I've had it for a few weeks now, and to be honest, I thought I could get on it and just send it, but I've been having trouble, and I have done some fast riding, and I've definitely done a lot of fast riding, hit a lot of top times, so there's no question that this thing's fast. But in terms of setup, I've just been kind of doing more damage control than having an optimal setup. So been back and forth with spaces in the fork. We'll start with the fork. So I've currently got 3 spaces in there, and I don't feel like I should be running that many spaces. So it's got the Evol, it's got the bigger negative air spring. If you watch my video from yesterday, you'll see that I pulled that apart, cleaned it out, got rid of the grease, and just greased where I feel like it's necessary to grease. So now, in terms of that, I'm assuming Fox either just overly do it out of, just slapping it together for speed of production. So, they're on a production line trying to get it out fast. Or maybe they do it for longevity. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like a lot of that grease in there will never do anything but sit inside away from moving surfaces. So it's definitely excessive. So I've greased it the way I think it should be greased. So I'm going to pull these apart semi-regularly and re-grease that and clean all that up anyway. So it's not an issue for as if it's going to go dry or anything. And that'll be done every time you get a full service on your forks anyway. So every 6 months or every year when you get it done. Anyway, set up 3 tokens. I rode it yesterday with the air spring cleaned out. It feels a fair bit more supportive. So I'm going to take 1 token out so I can get that suppleness back off the top. 2 tokens is super smooth off the top, how it was before, but it just wasn't a lot of support. So now that I've got the support back with the negative air spring, I believe, I'll test it with the riding today, but now that I think I've got that support back, I can take that token out that I used to find the extra support and get that smoothness back off the top, because I'll still have plenty of support from that negative air spring. So the fork, I've really been back and forth with it. 4 clicks of low speed, between 3 and 4 clicks of low speed, and between 8 and 10 clicks of high speed is kind of where the damper feels good. Rebound, I've got the high speed rebound at between 5 and 6 clicks out from full slow. So I think there's 8 clicks all up. So it's fairly fast but not super fast. I'll experiment with that more so I can get a clearer idea of how to describe the differences and whatnot. Low speed compression, it actually gets affected a fair bit by the high speed compression. Brain fart, I meant rebound. Which is what I've learned from here. I'm running that relatively fast. So I like my forks to be pretty fast, but obviously not aggressively fast. So fork, I've been doing a bit of damage control. Now that I've serviced them, they do feel a lot better, so I'll go back to scratch and get them set up properly. The rear shock, started with a 0.6, which I've discussed, a 0.6 spacer, way too choppy in the back, and no grip. There's just you can't grip it up on it. So regardless of sag, it was too choppy. I went to a 0.4. I went to a 0, which felt much better. Heaps more grip in the back, heaps less choppy. Little bit inefficient, but could dial in the efficiency with the low speed compression, which is nice. I've been running the 0.2 spacer. I went to a 0.4 spacer, which was still fairly choppy, but I could ride it. Deep in the sag, I could ride it. It was rideable, and I put down some real fast times on that. So some of my best times are Horsnells Gully and whatnot. Then I've gone back to a 0.2 spacer. I got hold of a 0.2 spacer from one of you guys actually. Shout out again to Kalen for that. Roscoe for the 0.4 spacer. And this 0.2 spacer that I've been running, it's still a bit choppy underfoot. So I'm still I'm running probably 1 or 2 clicks of low speed compression to adjust into that real efficiency range, but I feel like it's still too choppy underfoot and it's affecting the grip at the back. So I'm not actually really sold on this shock, to be honest. It doesn't feel like it's going to be awesome when I get it set up perfect. So I'm going to keep going, keep persevering and try and get it to that sweet spot. But I feel like I can improve this back end notably by putting a Super Deluxe on it, definitely. So this shock's maybe holding the bike back. Like I said, I'm going to go to 0, and it'll probably be 3 or 4 clicks of low speed compression to find that perfect amount of support to push against. and not have that choppiness underfoot, and maintain some good grip out of the back end. So I'll set that up today. The bike itself, when the geometry is right, when I've got the deep in the sag and it's not too choppy underfoot, this thing has felt absolutely wicked. On the steep stuff, it's super confident. That's where I've noticed the difference on this bike the most, between this and the Remedy and pretty much anything else I've ridden. Steep stuff, it's confident. Steep stuff that makes me feel at home and relaxed. The bars are pretty good. The setup's been pretty good. I don't mind the handlebars. I really like the grips. I really like the brakes. Just put short cranks on it. Going from the 170s, this came with 170, so it was more bearable. So I wasn't in a super rush to change the cranks. It wasn't a big fuss, but still getting a fair bit of just instinctive caution when you're pedaling up technical stuff, or even trying to get on the gas out of corners. I put the short cranks on the 165s on a few days ago, and to break them in or break myself in to get used to them, I did a ride up Mount Lofty. So long grind, 600 meters of climbing or whatever. It was killer. No worries climbing, no worries sitting and spinning. There's no real detrimental effects there. But as soon as I started descending, it was so much better. Obviously clearance for descending, but Twisted Gum, which is a local trail here with a couple of technical pinch climbs in the middle of it. When you get to those pinch climbs, you've got to get on the gas early so you can maintain your momentum through the whole climb. And there's lots of little roots, like tree stumps and whatnot sticking out, little rocks sticking out of the ground, that you've got to be super delicate on those, even just the 170s. And going 5mm shorter made a huge difference pedaling out of that stuff. So heaps more confidence, you can mash harder, and I definitely was going faster, definitely was getting on the gas with more confidence, and just pedaling up stuff, pedaling up the technical stuff so much easier. So people ask me if 5mm would really make a difference. It certainly does, it really does. If you were to change from 175s to 170s, you'd definitely notice a difference. And if you change to 170s to 165s, you'd definitely notice a difference. So for me, for my height, 174 centimeters, there's no need to go any longer than 165. If you're 180, maybe 170. You know, if you're any taller than that, 170s definitely. 175s, you're just ruining your clearance. It's just going to suck on the ride. So 165s, if you can get away with it, which anyone my height or shorter, you shouldn't be on anything longer than 165s, I don't think. But yeah, back to the bike. Suspension's taken me longer than I thought to get it running. So hang in there, I'm hanging in there, I'm going to get it dialed, and hopefully soon I'll have the confidence to just open it up and ride it how I want to. So yeah, a little bit of a bump in the road, I guess, a little bit of a something I wasn't expecting, but you got to be honest, that's how it is. We'll get this thing singing, and I'll update it when I've got it absolutely perfect, or how I want it. That's it.